So yeah, give a countdown and we are good to go.
Alright, hey everyone, I'm cvHanky, or just Hanky for short, and I'm going to be running Dishonored 1, and once I finish that, it's going to be the DLCs for Dishonored 1, and once we are done with that, I'm going to be running Dishonored 2, and yeah, honestly, let's just get into it. So we're going to start off with a save from the start of the game, and are you ready to start time?
Yep.
Just need to
Go
check.
for it.
Oh, oops. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, I'm using an ability called Blink, which we start off right off the start. In the main game, where you play as Corvo, you don't have this ability from the start, but we play as Dowd, who's technically the antagonist in the game. And here I'm leveling agility, which is going to allow me to jump higher, and we're going to use that a lot here. I'm going to try and get everything in the game, but there's a lot to talk about. What I just did there is called a clip, and I won't explain that right now because it's the only one in this DLC, but it's going to be a lot more in the second one. Okay. So I'm going to be trying to do something called damage cancels, which is where when you fall down, there are like 4 stages of landing, which is the first one where nothing happens at all, and second one where you get a falling animation, and then the third one, which is the preferred one. Oh, that sucks. Third one is the preferred, where we take damage but there's no animation, and the last one where you take damage and there's an animation. And we're torturing this guy because we want some information about the ship. And in this game there's a mana system, which is what I'm going to be using for blinks. And we're going to be picking up some various mana potions. And at the start of each mission we buy mana potions. And we're going to buy 10, except for at the last one where we're going to buy a bunch of sleep darts. So already now we've finished the first mission, and yeah, I have so much to talk about and so little time. We also upgraded to agility 2 at some point, and that allows us to run a lot faster, which is obviously nice. Right now we're just waiting for Billy to finish talking. And right. So here I'm going to place my cursor over here, because I know that once we get to the shop, the mana potions are going to appear there. Actually, they're going to appear there because I accidentally picked up the gun. So what I would have done there, I didn't do it because I forgot. Before the shop appears, you have like a millisecond or a little more where you can move your character. And Ellie Raptor, who is going to be running this game but unfortunately got ill, figured out that you can blink just before the shop appears, and it doesn't cost any mana because you regen mana, and you're going to regen that while you're buying. And here I'm going to try a slightly hard jump. I did it, nice. And here we're going to be killing a guy called Timsh. He's not here. He has 3 different spawn points. Oops. And okay, we got worse luck. So this is kind of interesting because normally you would reset here. He can spawn on the 3rd, 1st, and 4th floor. And normally we'd never run to the 4th floor because it's so slow. But this is a marathon. The other bad thing about getting this spawn is that... oh, nice. What I just picked up was his will, and we have to use that. And it can spawn in 2 locations when he spawns at the 4th floor. And normally if he spawns on 1st or 3rd floor, it will spawn in the opposite. So if he spawns in 1st floor, the testament is on 3rd floor, and vice versa.
Look at you.
And this is his niece, and she has some information about the ship. It's part of the story, but I simply don't have time to talk about the story of the game. We're trying to blink. Yeah, that's good. We're out of mana here, and that's what we want to be. Another short cutscene here.
His own niece turned on him. Are you ready to go?
So we're gonna get into the last mission here. I'm gonna place my cursor up here, because we're gonna be buying sleeping darts. And in this last mission, there are many, we call them music overseers, I think. And they're playing some music that makes us not able to use our powers, like blink and yeah, as you can see there. I was hit by the music while mid-air, and it kind of stopped my blink. So we have to sleep dart all of the people walking around with these large boxes in their hands. And that was the wrong one. There you go. We can't complete the mission before we've sleep darted or killed every single one of them. So there's going to be a lot of sleeping dart. And we're going to get to this guy here. And then here, trying to get a damage cancel. I did. Good. We killed this guy because if we... it's one of our own assassins, but you get a different ending if you don't kill that guy. And this is actually already nearing the ending of the first DLC. And I took the wrong option. Okay. This is gonna be a very long cutscene because I took the wrong option, where my assassins are going to very brutally murder every single guy, as you can see here. And this is very slow and not what was supposed to happen. And this is Billy. So here I'm going to do something called a storage skip. We're going to get 2 skippable cutscenes in a row, and if I hold F during this unskippable cutscene, it's going to automatically skip the first one. It's called RE storage skip. And okay, so this is the ending of the first one. We're going to get right into the second one, called Brigmore Witches. And here we're not going to load a save because there simply is no save. We have to start right from the beginning. I'm going to place my cursor here because you might have noticed I put it on the hardest difficulty, and this is because Dowd here is having a nightmare where Corvo is invading his home, and before we got this strat we would very skillfully kill Corvo on the easiest difficulty, but we figured out that if you put it on hardest difficulty you can simply run into him and die in one hit, and it's a lot faster. So I'm not going to touch my cursor because then when I press escape it's going to be right on the options where I can turn back to lowest difficulty, like this. And the reason we go back to the lowest difficulty again is because on the hardest difficulty mana potions don't give you quite as much mana. And I'm gonna get some bone charms here, and I need to see which ones. Oh, I got Swift Stalker. Okay, this is very lucky, holy shit. So Swift Stalker means that you run faster when your sword is not out. And you might have noticed that at some point during the first DLC, I was only running around with my powers out and not my sword. And in reality this is not supposed to happen. This is a glitch we do called swordless. And the way you do it in the DLCs is you attack and then put away weapons and only press the button where you blink. I'm gonna equip Swift Stalker. talk to this guy.
Holdridge. We can use
And Swift Stalker allows you to run a lot faster, and it's very useful in this next mission because we are going to invade a prison, and around this prison is the same music that the Overseers play that does not allow us to use our magic. And again, I'm going to buy potions. Well, actually going to buy a bunch of sleep darts and a grenade. So now we're going to do a slip clip. I'm going to try and do it. There you go. So we're out of bounds right now. And that is a ongoing trend for this DLC. In the first one we did a single slip clip and it did not get us out of bounds, but in this run we're going to be going out of bounds quite a lot more. So here there is a bunch of different luck. I got third best luck. We need this Stride because she owns a boat, and oops, we need her to sail us to a witch called Delilah, and she can spawn in 4 different places. The 2 first locks are pretty much equal. This one is a bit slower, and then the 4th one is very far away. And a small cutscene again.
It will be done. All quiet, sir. Ready to go.
Actually, there's a slight RNG here again with the dialogue with this guy called Thomas. Sometimes he has a shorter dialogue. And again, we blink before the shop appears, which you can hear in the audio. And also this looks weird because he spawns behind us and stuff. So because I have Swift Stalker here, I'm gonna have some extra blinks for the last mission. We're gonna blink between these guys. Now here I might fail. I'm gonna throw a grenade down here. Hopefully it's gonna hit. It did. Good. So there's a guy down there we need to assassinate before we get Lizzie back here. Good. So she's now taking control, but another problem arises. The ship has no engine, and we're gonna have to go fetch this engine. Normally, we would have to go. It would take a long time because you have to go through some sewers and you have to kill some more witches, and it's honestly terrible. But because slip clips are a thing, it's a lot easier, which you're gonna see here. We're gonna go here. We are going to do a slip clip, and I fell through the world. We're gonna load autosave again. This is kind of slow, but it's okay. It's only around 10 seconds. We're gonna do a slip clip and another slip clip. We're gonna grab the engine, do a slip clip. Okay, do a slip clip again. I'm gonna run to this door. No, blink, blink. And here is where we use our sleep darts again, because some witches are going to try to stop us from going where we want to. There's one here, and one here, and one here, and one here. I don't think I hit this one. Good. So we got them all. You can't end the mission before you've sleep darted all 4 witches. So this is the last mission, and we're not going to blink before. We're going to buy all the mana potions and all the sleep darts. This is probably the most broken map in the DLCs. We're going to do something weird. We're going to blink up here, and we're going to try and clip through this rock, which looks weird as hell. And yeah, we're swimming now. This water, we're under the map, first of all. We're also swimming, and we're back in bounds, and this is really confusing. So we just got back in bounds, and we don't like that. So we're gonna go back out of bounds again. We're still out of bounds, and we're in bounds. flipping in this game is surprisingly hard. This is gonna change in Dishonored 2. They fixed that. That was really fast. Wow. Following the story during a speedrun in this game is practically impossible. And this is gonna look so weird, but basically, we're gonna enter this painting. And the girl you're seeing here during the cutscenes is Delilah. And she's this very, very, very powerful witch, and basically she paints, and then the paintings kind of come to life. So again, we're gonna sleep dot, and she's gonna spawn clones of herself. And again, there's some RNG here with where they spawn. And this is where you get trolled most of the time during runs, because okay, time is coming up in just a second when I shoot Delilah. Now, that was not bad. That was pretty good. Yeah. So that was the Dishonored DLCs, and I kind of want to see what time was.
No one will ever know it.
Let me just open the stream again.
I hope I split it at the right time.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have it as a 1541.
1541.
But
Okay,
I was going
that's
with no sound, which makes it really hard to tell anything.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's
Especially
fine.
when I don't know the game.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right. Well,
Hopefully that wasn't too far off.
I don't think it was. Right. Well, I'm gonna quickly start up Dishonored 2 then.
Yep, and I'm going to quickly start changing things.
Okay. So Dishonored 2 is not going to be quite as action-packed as Dishonored 1 was. And in the main game, just Dishonored 1 any percent, it's also a lot slower. There are many cutscenes that are 1 to 2 minutes long and stuff like that. But they improved that in Dishonored 2, so now every single cutscene is skippable except 3? I think it's 3. And so this is mostly going to be gameplay, luckily. Let's see. I should be capturing Dishonored 2 now, right?
If you've switched it over, then it should
Yeah, it does.
be there.
Okay, cool.
Estimate of 34 minutes for this one.
Yep. Also note, we're going to be running as Corvo this time, who was the protagonist of Dishonored 1. And you can also play as Emily in this game, but she's a lot harder and I have not learned her yet. But it's going to happen eventually. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I believe I am almost ready.
Good.
Really hoping I can hear sound. Oh, I can hear sound. Perfect. Yeah, count it down.
Alright. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so just instantly we're going to turn around and open a window and try and exit fast. And we're gonna load cutscene. So here we're gonna grab a bottle, which is gonna be a little weird, but we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna throw a bottle at this guy. And it's because in this game, all smaller cutscenes are interrupted by taking damage. So by throwing that bottle, I aggroed the god, making sure he would hit me. I'm gonna eat some food here because we're gonna need the health in just a moment, where we are going to be doing a skip, a pretty large skip that involves us falling down. And again, taking damage cancels animations, so we throw a bottle at ourselves, which is kind of weird, but it's faster, believe me. So here, we've just left Dunwall Tower. The premise in this game is that Delilah has come back to life, even though we just killed her in Dishonored 1.
I should make my way to
And, okay, so this is the skip.
Maybe the captain.
And I'm gonna quick save because I actually got it first try. That's really good. Okay. And I also got the B-hub. Wow, good. So in this game, you can keep momentum by bunny hopping, like in many other games. You could not do that in Dishonored 1, but you can in this game. And this is Megan Foster,
Lord Protector.
Let's go.
who is going to be our companion throughout the whole game. So already now, we're going to visit the Outsider, who is going to give us Blink. And in this game you can actually refuse powers. You could not do that in Dishonored 1.
But it seems familiar somehow.
And we're going to be here
Where are you?
in the Void
You might
a
as
few
well show
times.
yourself.
And here you see the Outsider. He's some guard who's like 4,000 years old or something.
I felt this so long ago.
And here we got back our mark. Now before we already had our mark, but Delilah took it from us to get more power. And so we got it back now.
Feels as good as I remember.
Something important to note about Blink in this game is that it has a set cooldown between. You can't just blink, 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 blink. It has a set cooldown, and this set cooldown becomes a lot longer if you are mid-air when you blink, or if you just jump and blink. However, if you're standing on ground while blinking, the cooldown is a lot lower. So in most cases, we try to stand still while blinking, or no, stand on ground while blinking. It's not always possible though. Again, this game uses the same premise as Dishonored 1, where we have some upgradable abilities, and we're going to do the same where we upgrade agility, and as before, it also allows us to double jump, which is useful in so many cases. Here we're going to go have a meeting with Megan Foster.
We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're
Right. So we're going to try and visit the Crown Killer. The Crown Killer is someone who's been
Ready.
framing Corvo for murders. She murders someone
One more time.
and then
my friend.
frames Corvo for it. And we have to figure out who it is and then kill the person. Right. So luckily there are still boat cutscenes in this game like Dishonored 1. And in Dishonored 1 the boat cutscenes were quite long with Samuel, if you've ever played that. But these ones are skippable. Every single one, which is nice. And walking upstairs is slow, so we jump. Here comes the first glitch of the game, called an escalator. I can't really figure out who actually made this or who figured this out, because seemingly many people figured it out at the same time. The way it works is, if you have a slope that's not quite 90 degrees, you can continuously jump up. And this makes... By the way, that was a whole mission. And normally this map is very, very, very large. But we skipped the whole thing by just, you know, taking the escalator. And here we arrive at the Adamai Institute,
The Adamai
where we want to
Institute is
talk
my-
to Dr. Hypatia. What we'll figure out is that Hypatia is actually the crown killer. And we're not actually going to figure that out. We're just going to straight up kill her. And then the game is going to be like, oh, you figured out that she was the crown killer. So here we're going to go grab the key to her lab. This room is really annoying because... Yeah, I got hit. That's fine. Another annoying thing about this game is that if you get hit, or if you're running and you take damage, you stop running. And this can be really annoying if you're trying to go somewhere because it will constantly stop you from running. So here we have Dr. Hypatia.
Hopefully the secret to your
I
first
hit.
serum passed with you.
If you're
Dr.
fast enough,
Hypatia.
you can get it here. I was fast enough.
Watchtower.
And you probably thought I was about to die, but drop assassinating someone stops all damage, or stops all fall damage. We're gonna try and blink fast. Good. So we just blinked out to her and then magically appeared back here. And we're also magically gonna answer a question that
Whale.
we couldn't hear. And then now she's here and we're in her boat and weird stuff. But it all happens because you're not really supposed to blink out to her. You're supposed to wait for her. But we can't be asked. This is a speedrun.
I need Anton.
And here we have Anton Sokolov, who's probably the biggest meme of the Dishonored 2 community. And we need this guy.
Just want Ant. It's time to go get some.
But he's being held by a guy named Kirin Jindosh,
Let's get
who
underway.
is a famous inventor, or a very innovative person. So he has a large mansion with a bunch of traps, basically. It's a very interesting mansion. You're gonna see once we get there. For now, we need to get there first, though. So again, boat cutscene. What I want you to notice here is that I don't jump and blink. I simply blink. And this means the cooldown blink is lowered, so I can pick up this potion. And here we're gonna blink 1, 2. I did it wrong. And that's my fault. Goddamn. Okay, so we're gonna reset from last checkpoint. I think that's gonna be around when we blink to the potion. So I counted wrong there on the cooldown of blink. Yeah, it's gonna be here. Sweet jump. There you go. Also something important to note in this game is that pressing block like this, we're gonna do this a lot, because this means you don't get any falling animation, which is ridiculously broken, to be honest, but also very fast. Now these guys leave the carriage, we enter the carriage. Thank you very much. And now
I can see Jindosh's mansion from here.
we are going to take a slightly off-route place. Where are we going to blink here? Jump, jump. I accidentally fall down. And then here we're going to use block to stop us from taking any, or from stopping the animation, which is faster.
Jindosh could have stayed at the...
And finally we're at the mansion. One bad thing about this game is that loading times are ridiculously long, which you might have noticed. if you watch both my previous run and now this run, then
All right, I need to eliminate
Dishonored 1 has
and find
much
Anton
lower
Sokolov.
loading times. So here,
Who would build something
we're gonna
like
see the
this?
wonders of
Why?
his mansion. Here we're gonna shoot a whaler tank. And this is because I just ran past a wall of light, and walls of light are supposed to stop you from running there, but I exploded the whaler tank that keeps me from going there. And okay, here's Kareem Jundosh, and I missed. There we go. And again, we're gonna block to stop the animation. And here is a cool little trick. So this is the assessment chamber, which is where Sokolov is hiding. Or hiding is so much to say. He's here. This is Sokolov. He's also an inventor, and he's old, and he's now unconscious. So we have to save him from this place. And good. We're gonna wait for cooldown or regen.
The space behind the walls.
Now, I accidentally used a mana potion at some point, so my mana is going to be slightly wrong, but I'm going to make up for that later, because there are some specific points where I personally check my mana, and then I blink based on that. For example, in the 5th mission, I check. So now we just left the mansion with Sokolov, and we're instantly going to appear in the carriage. Then we skip the cutscene. And now witches are going to try and stop us from coming back, but they're not very good at their job. And here we're going to soak a dupe. Oh nice, okay.
You did it.
That's a meme. You throw Sokolov in the water and then talk to Megan, and he somehow appears in your arms again. If you did correctly, it looks like he's duplicated. And we're gonna have time for some donations here, because this is the first unskippable cutscene of the game.
The void again, but it feels different.
If you wanna read any.
What's she playing at? Maybe how is the question.
Ready for a donation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got, hold on, let me find it.
We have time for a few, because this is kinda long.
Okay, haven't had one in a while. Zaruin, who was donating towards voice acting Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Let's hear it. So, yeah, I believe that incentive at the moment is at... Let me have a look. That incentive is at 45. So we just need $5 more to reach that. And we have reached the Kill Slippy in Sem 64. Wow. So yeah, look forward to that, and hopefully we can make it to voice acting the cutscenes in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Delilah's warped imagination.
And I believe that's all we've got for now. Don't forget,
Yeah.
donate. We're raising money for Denied Research Foundation, which is definitely a good
15 years ago, the
That reminds me,
cause.
I'm gonna donate after this run, and I propose all of you to donate, if you have anything to spare. Anton. Right, so now Anton's back, and we need him to tell us what to do now. because Delilah took the throne from us, and Delilah's a witch, and she's not supposed to have the throne.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria.
So we're gonna go
close to the
visit.
conservatory.
We're gonna go
That's
visit the
as far
witches
as I
now,
can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
right to the heart of the witches, and we're gonna kill someone called Brianna Ashworth, who has a very close connection to Delilah, the other witch. Now you might be thinking, how come Delilah is in this game if we just killed Delilah as Dowd in the last game? And one of the Jesus one of the next unskippable cutscenes gonna explain why. So here I'm gonna check my mana. Okay, my mana's actually not that bad. So this is something called a rewire tool, which makes the wall of light act on our side. So it burns any of our enemies running through, instead of me.
Conservatory. Built around the time I
Right, so Ashworth is right here. We're gonna quickly kill her. Now these dogs, by the way, are incredibly murderous and deal a lot of damage.
about why Delilah can't be killed.
So I'm a little careful with those. She's never done that before. Okay. Good. We're gonna leave this place. We figured out something. Something story related happened. I don't actually know what. I'll admit I didn't follow the story in this game very much, but we got some information, and that's all we needed. We're not going to put away a sword here because I figured out that if you try to speak to someone while putting away your weapons, you can't speak to them until they're completely put away. Right. So time for an interesting mission. This is supposed to be one of the hardest missions in the game, because you're supposed to go to the Dust District. Oh, we're still going to the Dust District, but the game tells you that there are two possible ways to do it. So we're going to blink down to Sokolov here. The game tells you can do it by either
Need to know what
capturing one person and giving it to the other, or capturing the other and giving it to the first. And they'll allow you to go someplace. But there is a riddle that we instead do, and I'm not going to try to explain how it works, because in reality I'm just following a spreadsheet that tells me how to do it. Except the spreadsheet is in my head, so I hope I don't get it wrong now. And funnily enough, this riddle is made by Jindash, the guy we killed previously, who's some sort of genius. I'm gonna blink here. I'll check my mana. Okay, I have 2 mana potions still. This is good. I can blink 2 times here.
Definitely heard something. No way.
I'm gonna blink here.
Won't just leave the district.
And here's Megan again.
I've been doing recon.
Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Conti, Warm Metal, Macola, Snuff Tin, Conti, Warm Metal, Macola, Snuff Tin. Okay, good. Winslow, Bird Pendant, Finch, Diamond, Winslow, Bird Pendant, Finch, Diamond, which leaves us with which leaves us with Natsia. Good. Okay, that's good. It's a little slow, but I wanted to make sure I did it right.
Got it. Now to find Aramis Stilton.
Okay. So now we get to a I would call it less interesting mission because we can't do anything with powers here. This whole mansion is kind of messed up because the void is seeping through here.
Time is an odd thing.
But basically,
Only odd. Something just shifted.
at some point, we figured out, or we're supposed to have figured out that Delilah can't be killed. And we need to figure out here why.
This is a mercy.
There's time for donations here.
3 years ago, something inside.
But I don't think Steven can hear me.
Like a cheap lock. A part of him and a part of this house never left that evening. The Duke's inner circle are still gathered here, sitting there.
So what we typically do here is we meme around with bottles. There, 1, 2, 3, and then the last one's up here. 4.
The void,
You can't really do anything in this cutscene, so we just have fun.
and it's much older.
Yeah, the ultimate thing to do is to explode a bottle inside his head, because that's possible. I'm gonna place a bottle here.
And at the heart
And
of
the bottle
Steven's
here.
house, the void is leaking through.
I'm gonna try to place it here.
Left behind
Okay, that was not
by
bad.
this little trick. Even magic is
Not quite in his head.
and things don't work like they
Okay, we're gonna put it there. Where did I put the small glass?
Take this. Imagine it's a kind of
Right.
timepiece.
Here's some dumb dialogue. He says,
And watch the
he tells us to imagine this is a timepiece, but in reality,
see for yourself.
it is a timepiece. This thing's kind of interesting. It allows us to go back in time,
By the void.
and we're going to use that to go through this whole mansion with a specific route. And we're going to go here and switch to my sleeping dart because we are going to. We did just kill Aramis Stilton, but that's now, and we're now going to go back in time and sleep dart his old self, which probably makes no sense, but yeah. The reason we do it is because we need to get into his study, and if he's not present, then we can get into the study by simply breaking some planks. If we don't kill him or sleep dart him, however, we have to figure out this code instead. And long loading times. So once we get here, I'm going to take out the timepiece again, and now there are planks here that we can step break. So we get here as fast as possible, and again, here's going to be story happening. I wish Serdeth was awake so he could see me doing his RNG manipulation. In the next mission, there's going to be the hugest RNG in this game, or in this run. Let's see. So we can stand here. We need to witness something happening here. Actually, this is Delilah. Oh shit, I'm at the right place. She's putting her spirit into this thing. 1, 2, now. I did it too early. Goddamn. But basically, she put her spirit into a thing. So in order to kill Delilah, we have to find that thing. So we're gonna get to the next large, unskippable cutscene here. And we're gonna have time for some donations. Yeah, starting now. If only Steven could hear me.
Oh, I can hear you. We just don't have any donations right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you couldn't hear me. Well, then I'll try to explain some of the lore here.
Look around you.
So, basically,
Crumbling island at the
this is the outsider, and he was once upon a time a normal person.
special.
and
It's the place where my throat was cut.
well, actually, he's explaining it himself here, but he's like 4,000 years old,
This is where my life ended.
and someone made a ritual, and so he became some sort of god.
They made me.
This part
And
of the void feels
yeah,
older.
this is the outsider. So the reason Delilah is now alive and not dead, because it is actually canon
So I went limp.
that Dowd kills Delilah,
And I knew I waited
but apparently this specific island in the void
blood ran.
is special and has some sort of power, and
Now you know Delilah's secret.
yeah, Delilah finds this island
She drifted to
and gets power from it, and is somehow still alive now.
her second to none. She found this place. The island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her. And she discovered a way to draw from it.
If you played Dishonored 1, the outsider has
Delilah is
a very different voice,
part of me now.
and I honestly don't like this voice. Alright, so here's a ritual again,
Give Delilah credit.
and for
She tore out a piece of herself.
good RNG manipulation, we're gonna blow every candle.
She's made herself.
There's obviously no such thing as RNG manipulation, but
If you want to kill
we like to believe.
you're going to have to
And then for the memes, we're gonna spin this globe.
reaching it won't be easy. But what comes after that might be the hardest thing.
So this is the RNG guy that we're gonna kill in the next segment. And I really hope I don't get the worst luck, because I'm not used to that. There's a specific route, and I've tried learning it, but it's very hard. Or it's hard to remember at least. So here I have to remember that we enter the mansion with 2 potions,
Alright,
which means
skiff.
I have the amount of mana that I'm used to, so that's good.
Maybe no one will even notice. But things have changed here for the better.
Also, something weird is gonna happen when we start the next mission.
Yes.
Aramis Stilton, who we first of all killed
I've been to Stilton's
and then
house.
sleep-dotted
Let's go.
afterwards, is gonna appear for the 3rd time now. And he's now on the boat with us, which is really weird.
Duke Luca Bell tore down the
But
original.
basically, the reason this happens is because he was supposed to take part in this ritual where Delilah is summoned again, and he kind of disagrees with the ritual if he attends it, and since he disagrees with it, he basically goes and says, "What the?" Okay, I've never done that before, but that was horrendous. Okay, so I have slightly less mana than I'm used to, but it should not make a difference.
Should we head toward the palace?
Yes.
Let's go.
If you're wondering, I think I said earlier that you can play as another character too. You can play as Emily, who is the daughter of Corvo. And she has... I mean, in terms of speedrun, the only real difference is their powers. Corvo has this blink, which is very simple to understand. However, Emily has far reach, which is a whole other story. And we're gonna go here. Okay, so I'm not gonna blink here because I messed up mana. Again, we're gonna use a rewiring tool to make the wall of light act in our favor, and then we can easily go here. So if I get good luck here, that would make me a happy man, because it means I don't have to look like an idiot trying to find the Duke, because he has, I believe it's either 5 or 6 different spawn locations, and aside from that he also has a body double, so he's very hard to assassinate. Oh my. Embarrassing. But I missed that blink. Shouldn't make a big difference. We should reload right at the start here. Yeah. So I still have 2 potions.
The palace. Maybe I can find another way to neutralize.
Okay, so we're gonna check the first part up here. There's always either the Duke or the body double here, which means that you always have a 50% chance to get good luck.
Your soft life is over.
And we got bad luck. Okay. So second place you check is here. But it's not. Okay. And then he's not in here. Well, I am gonna look like an idiot now, but so he can also be here, which he is also not. Which means that he is in his garden, like the game also tells me. So just for safety, we're gonna go deactivate the arc pylon. There's the Duke.
Parasite.
And there you go.
This opens the Duke's vault.
This is very alternative. Right.
Of course, the Duke kept some of the clockwork soldiers for himself.
So
Let's see what Duke of
we now
Belgium's
need to
hidden
find
here.
Delilah's spirit, which is hidden in here. There you go. And there's a mana potion right here beside us. Okay, so that's this mission. I did get practically the worst luck, but I didn't completely look like an idiot, so it's okay. So now we have captured Delilah's spirit in this heart, and with that we can finally kill Delilah. So if you play the game casually, you can actually use the heart a lot, and at the start of the game Jessamyn's spirit is in the heart, and she actually has a lot of interesting things to talk about. But now we've kind of removed Jessamyn and introduced Delilah to the heart, and she's very evil. She likes to say evil things about us. So this is the last mission of the game.
This is how the worst day.
And if I were a memer, I would either go kill Megan or Sokolov, because we actually don't need them anymore. But this is a speedrun, and there's no reason to do that. We're actually
If old Samuel could see me
writing the boat ourselves. And that's a reference to Dishonored 1, like I talked about, where we write with Samuel. But he's already slightly old in the old game, or in Dishonored 1, so I think it's canon that he is dead in this game, sadly. So now we're heading towards right where we started, which is Dunwall Tower. And let's see, I have 1 potion, so everything's good. Everything is as it should be. And now cue creepy singing. I'm gonna be a little silent here because I have to concentrate on mana, because I have to use the right amount. So we're gonna pick up a potion, and I'm gonna have 3 blinks. Okay, this should be fine. We're gonna do a very neat skip in just a second. We're gonna jump in here, grab the potion. I don't think we blink here. So we jump, blink, blink. Actually, I think I used too little mana. Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, I have too much mana here, but that's not really bad. It's good to have backup mana. So here, you're supposed to run around the whole tower to activate the power, but instead we can use this neat trick that I don't know who found. Take a step back, aim up, and jump, and look, we're at the top. We don't need no elevator. And even if there was power, that was still faster than the elevator, so good shit. Now, Delilah's spirit is going to be mean to us.
You will take me back and die.
So we're gonna have to reintroduce Delilah's spirit to her body, which we do now. And like in Dishonored 1, she's a painter and paints some weird ass shit, so we're gonna enter her painting again. And this blink is hot. I did it. And we're gonna kill Delilah. I missed. Oh my. Right. Well, this is marathon mistakes. Basically, I'm supposed to kill Delilah with a single incendiary bolt.
So she'd replace all
Oh
the
my.
world with this.
Well, this also happened in my PB. But we're supposed to shoot her like that. And then she's dead. We run over here, and time is coming up in a few seconds. Time is coming up now. Okay, so that's Dishonored 2. Oh, the speedrun. It was probably incredibly hard to follow any of the story in the game. So if you like story in games, I would really recommend both Dishonored 1 and 2.
Everything.
They have incredibly good stories. But yeah, I'm done.
Thank you for running that. Well, thanks for both your runs.
Yeah, thanks for letting me be here.
Absolutely. Up next we have Ellie Sarepta